As I mentioned at the beginning of Mass, this weekend is World Marriage Day. And in commemorating marriage and celebrating the wonderful gift of marriage, of course, we are celebrating one of God's great gifts to us as human beings, which is the gift of that marriage relationship and the gift of family, that we're all affected by the families in which we have been blessed to be welcomed into and to be nurtured within. And that relationship of married couples is so very, very important. We know that there's many ways in which marriage and family life is being minimized and redefined and undermined within our own culture. And so it's important for us to really reaffirm God's beautiful plan for marriage, and particularly to affirm couples as they live that relationship out. It's a continual challenge. It's a continual call. It's not necessarily an easy vocation, as no vocation is really necessarily easy, but it is one in which God's grace is present. One of the things the Archbishop has asked us to do is to, first of all, show a video today, but particularly to encourage all married couples to commit to some practical way of growing within your marriage relationship during this coming year. Just some practical way of affirming each other, affirming your love, your commitment, and of living that more fully. So we invite you now to take these few moments to listen to this DVD that the Archbishop has provided for us.
When I grow up, I want to be married, and I want to have 3 kids.
She's going to be very awesome and happy. I want to marry somebody awesome and somebody cool.
Well, with her, she just has an engaging smile and a very outgoing, exciting personality, and that kind of drew me to her, which I'm more introverted, so it was kind of a little bit of the opposite of me. So.
Yeah, the introverted part of Brian was probably the most attractive to me. And when I met him, he drove a motorcycle. So, I mean, that helped.
We were walking across the street to go and get some ice cream on our first date. He was maybe 2 steps ahead of me.
You know, we're about to cross the street, and so I kind of lean forward and I kind of like hold my hand back a little bit.
And so meanwhile, I'm like, all right, he wants to hold my hand.
And
so
I'm just trying
forward.
to make sure she doesn't get run over. So
he was trying to be all chivalrous,
yes.
And I didn't find out till actually quite a bit later that he wasn't actually trying to hold my hand, but he continued to hold my hand and didn't let go. And yeah.
You know, recently we were having a discussion with our Marriage and Family Life Office, and they talked about talking to a young woman who said that she had never been to a wedding in her life and that she didn't really know anybody that had a happy marriage. Wow, what a powerful testimony of this young woman, that she'd never really seen a thriving marriage. We see what the consequences when our young people are deprived of that and our society is deprived of that. There's all sorts of social problems that inevitably emerge. The flip side of that is that a married couple, their marriage is impacting that whole community, and it's making that community stronger because of the stability, really, of their commitment of love.
The Joyful Marriage Project is an invitation to dream and prioritize your marriage, your ultimate dream home. A place of warmth and welcome, a place that you cannot wait to come home to at the end of the day.
So just like if we were building a physical dream home, there's levels that we start with. So first we pour the foundation. In marriage, it all starts with prayer. Then we would build walls and put a roof. For us, this is skills and things that help us weather the storms of life and make our marriage a priority. And then at the end, we would have an open house. We want to invite people in to share that joy that we've built. And so we want to invite you and give you permission to make your marriage a priority so that you can build your ultimate dream home.
There's never a perfect time. You know, you can come up with a million reasons. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, how could I even consider that that was not going to be that's not something that I was just jumping for the opportunity to do.
Although we had a really strong relationship, a good marriage, these same little triggers, we never could, these obstacles were challenging, and we finally had those tools to work through those in a different way, in a way that was more effective.
We felt like our marriage was doing fine. We had 2 kids at the time, and we got a recommendation from a friend that it was a really good retreat, so we went for Valentine's Day, and we really loved it, and honestly, it kind of blew us away. From there, it just kind of pushed us to work harder on our marriage and make it a continuous thing.
When we started our going to ministry, we were separated. It was hard and it sucked. We didn't know where to turn, but we just started actually applying to every ministry, every marriage ministry we could within the church, and that's what we did.
It's not for as long as you both shall love, it's for as long as you both shall live. And without that solid background, we were skidding around in the mud for years, and of course eventually, when you're in the mud, you can get mud on you.
You go to the gym so that you can stay healthy, keep your body healthy. You need to go to marriage enrichment so you can keep your marriage healthy, because literally your marriage is the most important thing that you have.
Even coming off of our weekend initially, as my parents were watching our kids, they said, "How was the weekend?" I said, "It was good." And they said, "What do you mean?" Something happened because you guys are different.
It's been life-changing for us, really. I know the difference between our marriage before living in love and the difference between our marriage after living in love. It was just, I think for us it's more a way of being, an awareness that you have that you didn't even have before.
So some people might be asking, well, what is marriage enrichment? What do we mean by that? And it really can be a variety of things, but it's saying to each other, hey, our relationship is a priority. That's what we said to each other on the day of our marriage, and that's what we need to recommit to each day. So for some, that might be making a retreat weekend, like a marriage encounter. For others, it might be committing to date night. For some, it could be we have through School of Love and other materials from our own Marriage and Family Life office that are online. Marriage is the foundation of everything because the family is so crucial to culture, to society, certainly to the church. And the foundation of the family is marriage. Everything really depends on marriage. It's where life comes from, it's where the next generation is formed. And so for the church, I felt it was critical that we really invest in our married couples. We're excited about what this year could be if every married couple in the Archdiocese would take seriously this invitation to spend time on cultivating your relationship and strengthening your relationship and realizing that the most important thing you can do for our culture and society is really be a better husband, be a better wife, be a better couple together.
If you want me to have a great marriage someday, I need to be inspired by yours.
Thank you for visiting us at joyfulmarriageproject.com and on Facebook at Joyful Marriage Project.